Hello and welcome back to the Military Matrix. For weeks, military analysts across Europe and the United States have been trying to understand one burning question. How did Ukraine manage to deploy its American-made M1A1 Abrams tanks in a way that completely blindsided Russian forces? What was once seen as a liability on the battlefield has suddenly become a decisive tactical advantage. And tonight, we break down the strategy that has the Kremlin's generals stunned, scrambling, and in some cases openly admitting that they miscalculated Ukraine's armored capabilities. From the moment the Abrams arrived in Ukraine, expectations were sky high. These tanks were built for high-speed maneuver warfare, powerful frontal engagements, and battlefield dominance within a fully integrated NATO command structure. But in Ukraine, the terrain, drone saturation, and overwhelming presence of Russian anti-tank systems created a nightmare scenario. Russia had assumed the Abrams would fail, that they were too heavy, too fuel-hungry, too visible, and too vulnerable to cheap kamikaze drones. And for months, it looked like Moscow might be right. But Ukraine's command did not deploy the tanks conventionally. Instead, they quietly shifted to a method that military insiders are now calling one of the most adaptive battlefield transformations of the entire war. Rather than using the Abrams as frontline battering rams, Ukraine redefined their purpose entirely. The tanks were converted into rapid response precision platforms, mobile sniper systems with the firepower of a tank and the battlefield awareness of an advanced reconnaissance unit. Here's where the strategy becomes pure genius. Ukraine began integrating the Abrams into drone-led kill networks. Instead of tanks leading assaults, drones did. Ukrainian reconnaissance UAV streamed real-time targeting to the Abrams from miles away, allowing the tanks to strike Russian armor without ever needing to cross open terrain or reveal their position. The Abrams became ghosts, firing from concealed locations, repositioning instantly, and disappearing before Russian artillery or drones could locate them. Russian commanders were left shouting into radio channels, trying to understand where the attacks were coming from. Tanks that should have been visible, noisy, massive, and easy to target suddenly became disappear and strike platforms. According to intercepted communications, Russian units described the Abrams fire as appearing from nowhere, destroying armored vehicles and then fading before counter-fire could even be ordered. The next shock to Russia came from how Ukraine used the Abrams' survivability. Instead of risking them in large formations, Ukraine pushed them out in micro-teams. A single Abrams, paired with 2 drone operators, positioned to control entire front-line sectors. With Abrams rounds capable of piercing Russian tank armor at extreme distances, a lone Abrams could engage multiple enemy vehicles without ever exposing itself to minefields or anti-tank squads. Then came the most unexpected twist. Ukraine began using the Abrams in nighttime hunting operations, exploiting their thermal optics which far outperform any Russian equivalent. During night operations, Russian tank crews were effectively blind, while the Abrams could see everything. Ukrainian forces used this advantage to strike Russian supply trucks, command vehicles, and armored personnel carriers, moving under the assumption that darkness would protect them. Instead, they became easy targets. Russian analysts quickly noticed a new pattern. Wherever an Abrams was rumored to be, Russian armored activity dropped sharply. Columns were routed, command posts relocated. Drone operators were ordered to search entire grid sectors just to confirm whether a single Abrams might be present. A tank that Russia initially thought would be a burden for Ukraine had now become a psychological weapon, paralyzing frontline mobility. But Ukraine didn't stop there. Knowing Russia would eventually try to track the tanks with Lancet drones, Ukraine introduced another layer of deception: static decoy heat sources emitting Abrams, like thermal signatures. Russian drones repeatedly struck empty fields, burning scrap metal, or even inflatable decoys equipped with cheap heating elements. Meanwhile, the real Abrams units were miles away executing coordinated strikes. This wasn't just clever, it was battlefield misdirection at a level Russia had not anticipated. Their famously cheap but effective drones suddenly became expensive liabilities, wasting munitions on shadows and illusions. And every drone wasted meant less aerial surveillance over Ukrainian infantry positions. The strategy culminated during a series of clashes in late autumn, when Ukrainian forces used Abrams tanks to lure Russian units into pre-targeted kill zones. Operating behind cover and communicating with drone teams, the Abrams fired, retreated, and repositioned in a cycle so rapid that Russian commanders misidentified one tank as multiple vehicles. Russian armored columns advanced into Ukrainian ambushes, believing they were engaging a line of tanks. Instead, they had walked straight into artillery traps and anti-armor firing lanes. Military observers say this approach mirrors techniques used by American forces in Iraq, but adjusted, improved, and hybridized with drone warfare in a way no NATO army has done before. Western commanders now call Ukraine's Abrams docked, in a glimpse into future armored warfare, where tanks operate as stealth shooters rather than rolling fortresses. Russia, for its part, is scrambling to adapt. New orders from Moscow emphasize the need to deploy more thermal, resistant camouflage, more drone reconnaissance, and heavier suppression fire against potential tank ambush zones. But analysts warn that none of these measures fully counter Ukraine's new strategy, because at its core, this is not about the hard, where it's about adaptation, creativity, and battlefield intelligence. Ukraine has shown that even in an age of drones and precision missiles, the tank is far from obsolete. It simply needed to evolve. And evolve it has. Russia now faces a strategic dilemma: how to counter a tank that it cannot see, cannot reliably target, and cannot predict. A tank that behaves less like a heavy vehicle and more like a precision strike asset with the brain of a drone swarm behind it. In the end, the Abrams tank did not stun Russia because of its armor or its engine or its reputation. It stunned Russia because Ukraine refused to use it the way Russia expected. And in war, the side that breaks expectations is often the one that wins the initiative. As the conflict continues, one thing is clear. Ukraine's Abrams strategy has rewritten the rules of modern armored combat, and the Russian military is still trying to catch up.